Hey Shannon, hope you're doing well. Glad you checked out the video. And yeah, as I said, I wanted to share a few opportunities for Plannit, and I'm going to dive straight into it. I think I gave a quick intro. I really focus on helping B2B SaaS companies to go and capture demand and also create that demand. And I'll talk about that a little bit in this video. But yeah, again, the reason I'm reaching out, I think that probably yourself and your team has put in some efforts around the organic space already, from what I can tell, taking a peek around the website. But for me, at least, looking at a lower ACV product in the SaaS space, the wins there are always focusing on the low hanging fruit for high intent terms, right? And what I mean by that is, I know you kind of have the software broken out by feature set and solutions, obviously common in the SaaS space, by use case role, feature solutions, which is great. But I think just looking at some of these specific pages to start under solutions in and of itself, right? So I know, for example, I take the lawn care software page. You're trying to position and target this for the primary keyword being lawn care software. Excuse me. And if I take a look at the current position rankings for Plannit in terms of high intent software based terms, again, I think we would both agree that these make sense to target for this specific space, being a lower ACV product, because we know if we're able to capture top positions for those primaries and for relevant secondaries, then we'll be able to drive actual customer acquisition off the back of that, right? People that are going for a trial. And I think the reoccurring theme across those pages, if I take a look at them, is, okay, how do we typically get these to rank higher in the SERPs, right? And again, I think some of this you might know, but one of the large factors of that is, the authority of the website in and of itself, quality links that are pointing to plannit.com from third-party websites. Also, how many quality links are pointing to these specific pages in and of themselves compared to the competition. That's definitely one component in and of it, knowing the kind of time tracking and GPS industry pretty well myself, right? The second thing I think is just from a conversion perspective and from a content perspective, right? I think that, these pages, kind of restructuring them from, we still want to have that SEO play and that primary targeting of lawn care software, but like the actual headline, right? The value prop. Lawn care software, 18 font size, large headline, large value prop, and then pushing people in, right? So like additional social proof here, right? I don't see any off the bat. That can be in the form of video testimonial, other companies you've worked with. So what I'm trying to get at is, I think, improving the landing page experience also from a user perspective, because I know you're already getting right fit traffic to these pages from other marketing channels, but my question for you is, how well are they actually converting now? And I think you and I probably agree there's a lot that could be done to improve this page from a conversion and from a user perspective, but also to improve this page to get it to rank higher in the organic results, right? No CTA below the fold at the bottom, right? So there are a lot of things I think you can actually do to improve these pages. And again, I think that's a core starting point, because you have some existing authority. You have, these are ranking page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, roughly, most of them. It's just combining all of those elements to really be able to take over and kind of own that space, right, for these software-based terms. And I think it's definitely possible. Like, some of these are, I'm not a big fan of search volume metrics or keyword difficulty and tools like Ahrefs or SEMrush. They give us a very rough idea, but we shouldn't go by that. But just to get an idea of where they're positioned, right? For me, that is the opportunity from the organic perspective. And I think that also touches other marketing channels as well, right? If you're running paid ads, what do the conversions look like off the back of this? Are people actually converting that are hitting a paid ad coming to this particular lander? I would assume, making the assumption here that the conversions without knowing them could be much higher with better page structure, social proof, in the form of, again, logos, video testimonials. I actually have a client I work with that has interactive product demo software, actually giving them like a 10-step walkthrough of the solution and giving them that aha moment. So I think, again, just getting to the structure, because comparing this to the homepage, I think the homepage, there could be some improvements, but to me, this looks like a much, let's say, cleaner and structured page, even compared to some of the landers. So that's the one thing. The other thing I want to say, by the way, from the organic perspective, is this is a little bit probably of a deeper topic, but um, when you're using a subdomain, so if I visit plannit.io, probably you know this, I'm getting redirected to this subdomain, right? So I'm assuming it's living on a different CMS or something was migrated. This is diluting the value of your link profile. It's diluting the ability of the homepage and other pages to actually rank, right? So you never want to structure the homepage on that subfolder, right? And if you're going to use, if you use a subdomain, you at least want to utilize a subfolder structure, which again, for the homepage, it's going to dilute and hurt rankings, essentially. I think getting into that topic as well, probably another portion of that is seeing the EN in the URL structure, right? Knowing it's in both English and French. There's an even deeper conversation to get in around that with international SEO and that component and how that's structured. But yeah, I'll just stick to the English side for the moment for the sake of the length of this initial video. I think across the other pages as well, from a pricing perspective, always above the fold, right? That's an easy win to me. I'm not looking on mobile right now, but pricing information always above the fold, visible. And some other things I noticed you do, like competitor comparison, right? So again, page structure, I think this could be much more visually appealing. I think though that even the CTA at the bottom, like no headline, no value prop reminder, same here, right? So I think that there's a lot to clean up from the visual structure that really has an impact on conversions, people staying on the page longer, benefits us from a organic perspective. And probably the other question is, I know you set this up for probably paid and organic purposes, but so you have one here specifically, Plannit versus Jobber. Let's see, what about targeting alternative? So I don't think you're targeting people that are searching for an alternative to Jobber. And of course, as you know, since you set this page up, that you could create multiple pages theoretically and have a hub for this where all of those live, and you can have those individual comparisons. So you're not only targeting people that are putting you up against a competitor, but you're also targeting people that are potentially considering switching from their current application like Java or whoever that else might be. So I think there's food for thought in that as well. And again, like for me, 9 times out of 10, as I said, I work with a lot of smaller companies and work closely with a lot of SaaS founders and teams that have like 1 or 2 marketing resources. And 9 times out of 10, like from how I work, coming in within 90 days, like the big opportunities from an organic perspective and that also cross over to other channels is, okay, how can we build content for a problem and solution aware audience or restructure our existing high intent pages to actually get them to rank, right? And also, off the back of that, the other one is competitor comparison and alternative. If there's already demand there for somebody that's comparing you, I mean, that's very, they're very deep in the funnel already. So those are really 2 major things. And then you can get into recreating problem-based content to help drive relevancy to our landers, right? So we have a silo of content that helps us to rank for pest control software, like 4 to 5 common problem-based articles that we can map against existing search demand and leverage those to link to our lander to drive relevancy and to help it to rank. So I think that's another thing as well. And yeah, obviously bolstering the link profile over time. I know that time tracking, GPS tracking, job tracking software, those specific terms are a lot more competitive probably than your solution pages. And it's just a question of, can you create some great linkable assets to build that authority in your space? Can you get into creating can we do some data-driven back pieces? Can we do some statistic style pieces that are relevant for our industry and that also will get picked up by other sites and journalists, right? To really feel that fire. But I think, again, really for me, looking at this, the core initial starting point is, the subdomain, getting that cleaned up. And these high intent keywords, getting those on page 1, right? I think that's where the opportunity lies. And again, I'm not only speaking from the organic side. Same thing goes if you're running, paid campaigns, same exact deal. So anyway, just some food for thought. That's where I think the opportunities lie. Take a look at the video. I'm happy to dive a little deeper. I wanted to keep it under 10 minutes and not to get too crazy because I could probably talk about it all day. But take a look. Let me know what you think. And yeah, happy just to connect and share some ideas, like no sales pitch or anything like that, I promise. Yeah, just trying to help out. So I appreciate the time, Shannon. Have an excellent rest of your day and hopefully talk to you soon. Take care.